Okay, the warm-up. Nobody likes it, I know. But the warm-up is really important, especially when you're doing something as intense as boxing. The warm-up is supposed to get you ready for the effort that's coming. So as a rule of thumb, the more intense the effort you're going to give during training, the more intense your warm-up is supposed to be. So when you're warming up for a really hard conditioning session, it should be a longer, more intense warm-up than when you're doing a very light technical session. But either way, you do not want to skip the warm-up. I have provided a sample warm-up routine for you, but you can make up your own as long as you understand what you're doing, right? That's always what we're talking about, why we do what we do. So first, you want to do some type of cardio. If you can skip, that's the traditional boxing way, great, we're going to do some skipping in this warm-up. If you can't skip, you can do anything else. You can do a light jog, use the bike, or even skip in place with an imaginary rope. Do your high knees, do your skipping without the actual rope until you learn the skill. Then we want to mobilize and lubricate the joints. So the shoulders, the elbows, the hips. We want to get the fluids flowing and make sure they are warm for the punching. And we want to raise the heart rate and get the blood flowing. Once again, the more intense your session, the higher you want your heart rate. As a rule, your heart rate at the end of the warm-up should be as high as the intensity you're going to be working at during your session. So don't be afraid to go hard on the warm-up. When I teach classes, when I give the warm-up, it's 15 minutes. By the end of it, people think the class is over. But no, the class is just starting. That's the intensity we want at the end of the warm-up to be ready for the upcoming session. Now your warm-up can be anything between 5 and 15 minutes. But if you're training seriously, if you're going to do an hour session or an intense session, go for 15 minutes. That's your go-to length. After you're done your cardio, you're done your stretching, your mobility, then you want to do some shadow boxing. This is going to help you practice whatever you need to practice, but also get into the right mindset. And that's another way of keeping your heart rate up until you start the actual going berserk on the back type of training.